Welcome to BS with Tommy and Wes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 10th episode of BS with Tommy and Wes. And as always, like the previous 9, all the way up to 10, I am here with my heterosexual life mate, Wesley Crane. Wesley, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Dude, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We've made it 10 episodes.
You know, they say that podcasts that last longer than 10 episodes are more likely to succeed.
You know what? Well, we can't jinx it yet. We have to go longer than 10.
Well, I don't know who said that. I just heard that they said that.
You're in the clouds right now, my man. All right. We got a list of topics for you guys today. We're going to talk about a few things. Wesley has a funny story he's going to tell you guys. I just watched the most recent horror movie, the first horror movie of the year, in Peter Pan's Neverland. I'm going to give my little take on that. Wesley is going to talk a little bit about his Wrestle Rave experience this past weekend. And the main thing we're going to be talking about today is our top 10 horror movies of 2024.
Yes.
It's so fitting because I just came out of watching, like I said, I just came out of watching a horror movie. But before that, we have a couple of things to do. And first and foremost, I'm blindsiding you here right quick. I know you have a little thing to talk about, but you don't know. I've got a present for you.
Oh, no.
Now, this is not what I told you I was going to get you for Christmas. Only because even though I ordered it with this, that's not going to be in for another couple weeks. So this is something I didn't even tell you about.
Oh, shit.
This is a late Christmas present. Using his teeth. I just made things so much worse in this. We're currently in my car right now, and it's very, very tight packed in here, and I just gave you a present to open. See?
It's a shirt.
It's a shirt.
It's a shirt.
It is.
With Art the Clown on it. Okay, so my daughter's going to be incredibly jealous of this shirt.
Yes, this shirt looks weirdly small.
It does look weirdly small, but that'll make me look extra jacked.
I got you a medium. This thing
did.
looks tiny.
It says medium.
It says medium.
It says medium.
This looks like it would fit your daughter, though.
It's going to make me look extra jacked.
That thing is small. What the fuck, Amazon? I got this on Amazon, too. They're supposed to be trustworthy.
Can never trust an Amazonian.
Can never. I love Amazon Limit.
That is awesome. My daughter's going to be incredibly jealous of that shirt because she's been on this like tirade of like Art the Clown Terrifier.
So I did order this with the sunglasses that I told you I was going to get you, but apparently those aren't going to be here for another 2 weeks.
Well, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I love it.
Christmas, 3 weeks later.
Belated Christmas.
Belated Christmas. All right.
Before we get any further, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our BS Brigade members, Patrick Clark.
Patrick Clark, not the Velveteen Dream.
Not the Velveteen
Not to be
Dream.
confused.
Yes. Thank you for listening, supporting, and being a complete boss in every single day. If you want to shout out on an episode of BS with Tommy and Wes, then don't forget to visit our website. The link for that is in the description for this episode. Sign up to be a member of the BS Brigade, green tier, blue tier, or black tier if you like it extra lengthy, and enjoy all sorts of exclusive weekly content.
Yeah, do it now, or when you wake up in the morning, there'll be a fish under your pillow.
Yep. You don't want to be smelling fishy.
Maybe you do. Some of y'all probably do already, honestly.
Yeah.
So you need this.
So the other night,
Yeah.
I got some gummies, and
You?
yeah,
Never.
and I decided that I would climb the mountain of elevation.
Can't believe you've done this.
And I had climbed way too high.
Did you?
Way too high. There was a moment where I couldn't stop laughing. Like Susie was getting onto one of our children, and I apparently found that very funny. I was crying laughing.
Oh, man.
And then at one point I sat up and I felt like the world, I could just look around and it was spinning around me. And then it began to like enclose me in its weird cocoon. And then I promptly texted my wife, I need to lay down.
No, she was there?
Even though she was there.
Okay.
I texted her and was like, I need to lay down.
Oh, man.
I felt like I was going to throw up everywhere. But I I was so high on that mountain that I was getting elevation sickness, I think.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's not amazing, but what's amazing?
Well, so like the funny part about it was like there came a point where I realized that I climbed too high, and that her mom would then soon realize that I climbed too high,
Oh yeah.
and she would get very upset. So I was like, I can't laugh, because if I laugh, she's gonna know. But then I started laughing at the fact that I was thinking about that, so I couldn't quit laughing, and I'm sure she knows.
So she definitely knows now if she listens to this. Those are the best. So I've been around you a many of times during your epic climbs.
Yes.
To the tippity top.
Yes.
And they're the best. They are especially when we're gonna go in to watch a movie. I love going to, like, for example, like, what was it? We went and watched like Cobweb like a year and a half ago or something, and you showed up. Oh. So you got clouds beneath you, my friends. And it was I mean, I was a little irritated when we got in there because there was like a chick about 4 seats down from us.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I got that sauce, and she pulls out a whole bag with the whole McDonald's menu in the bag. I just remember, that's all I remember. She started taking out all this food, all these nuggets and burgers, and then she goes, I got that sauce, and she was just opening all this barbecue sauce everywhere. It's funny as hell now, but I just remember every like 5 minutes or so just looking over at you and you just being like,
So I had clouds beneath me while I was laying in the grass, touching and feeling the plants and stuff. Yeah. I had a great time during Cobwebs. Yeah. I felt like I was there.
Oh man. You 1 minute you seem like you're having the best time of your life. The next you were watching this movie, which was not that great. Like it was Shakespeare. And when the twist would happen, you were like, I don't know what the you just thought it was the greatest movie in the world.
Maybe I need to go back and rewatch that movie, because was it really that bad?
It wasn't that bad. Like the first like 4/5 of the movie were really, really good. And then when, Anthony Starr, who was in the movie, played the father, spoiler alert, he died. Yeah. The son poisoned his parents, thinking that they were just keeping his sister hostage in a closet or in the walls of their house. But turns out like she was a literal fucking human spider.
Yeah.
And that's why they kept, and it was his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't wrong. They were keeping her in the walls, but just for a really good fucking reason. Mm-hmm. And then she does, and then it gets to like a big, kind of monster movie, CGI fest kind of thing. But the first like 80% of that movie's really, really good. Okay. The last 20% is just kind of fucking weird.
I mean, I may rewatch it again anyway, just to see it.
You know what?
Sober.
If we get a black member, black tier. Let me rephrase. We have, like you said earlier, we have the gold, blue, and black tiers.
Green.
Or shit, yeah. Green, blue, and black tiers of our memberships. I'm sure there's a black man listening to this, and I love you. That came out like if we get a black tier member, we should do a commentary track for Cobweb. Fuck. God damn it.
I'm all down for that.
We have to do a commentary track anyways, because we have members now.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a commentary on a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Probably soon.
Yeah.
We'll probably knock that out. Definitely by the end of the month, we'll definitely knock that out.
We'll create a poll of like 5 matches or so.
Yeah.
And they can just kind of choose, or like maybe there'll be another option so they can fill in.
It could be any match too. Yeah. It could be one of our matches. It could be some of our friends' matches. Yeah. It could be the shittiest match possible. Yes, will also be just as entertaining.
Good wrestling, bad wrestling.
It could be a WWE match. We could watch anything. Yeah. So we'll do a poll and we'll get that out by the end of the month before the Royal Rumble.
The only thing I'm gonna ask is maybe don't send wrestling pornos.
Or you could.
I mean, I guess you could, but
Ultimate surrender, baby. If you know that reference, you're a sick fuck, and that's why we're friends.
okay. So you just went and watched the first horror movie of 2025.
I did.
Which was?
It was called Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. It's from the same people that did the Blood and Honey movies.
Okay.
Yeah, which I actually haven't seen.
Really?
Yeah, but I've watched the dead meats kill counts on them. So I know that the first movie is really, really bad and really sucks, and there's not really a lot to it. And then the second movie acknowledges that the first movie was bad and it sucked, and it made it where the first movie is a movie in the second movie. So the sequel, yeah, that's why it explains like recast and everything. So,
so meta.
But yeah, so meta. Well, that was a little funner to watch though, so I would be down to watch that. But I did just watch Peter Pan's Neverland because they're calling it the Monsterverse. I think that's what they're going to call it because they're going to do a lot of these different movies.
Okay.
You know, they're going to do the Winnie the Pooh movies, the Peter Pan. They're doing one for Bambi. You know, they're doing one for a lot of these different things. I don't know how caught up we're in the realm of this that you're in, but it looks like you had no idea.
I've only watched the Winnie the Pooh ones, and
so none of them are out. Like the rest of these ain't out yet, except for the Peter Pan one. It was only in theaters yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I mean, for you listeners, today's the last day you can go see it. So,
right.
Go watch it. It's at 7:00 tonight. It's the only time you'll be able to watch it. It's not going to be theaters after that. But they are making a whole franchise out of it, a cinematic universe.
Interesting. I'm so curious as to how they're going to do Bambi.
Yeah, I won't really go into spoilers. At least I'll try not to. I might give one spoiler that I've already told you off mic. But we'll put that in the unlisted episode, like the uncensored one. Peter Pan doesn't have a penis. You know what? Fuck it. Leave it in. Leave it in. It's so fucking hilarious.
It's not even the first time I've heard that.
And you know what? You know what? That's the review.
It still catches me off guard.
That's the review of the movie. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll say this. The movie's like a 5 out of 10 for me. I wanted it to be worse than what it was. I wanted it to be one of those bad movies that I like. And this was better than those movies typically are, but it took itself a little too serious for me. Not to say that there's not things in this movie that I didn't like. This movie's gory. It's bloody as hell. I think the acting is really good, except for a couple of the kid actors. Not it was very much Black Phone-esque. I'll say that. I can compare if you've seen Black Phone, similar to that. But I think the guy that plays Peter Pan did a phenomenal job in this movie. But I don't know, like the movie just didn't. It doesn't stand out as a great movie or a really good horror movie at all. But it wasn't bad either, which just makes it not memorable, except for him not having a penis. They know Peter Pan is not a woman. He just doesn't have a penis.
What do you rate this movie? 3.5 stars. Peter Pan has no penis.
Go watch the movie. Don't watch it if you're gonna have like a political sensitivity to it. That's the best review I can give for it.
So I love the way you analyze movies.
Peter had no Peter.
Peter had no Peter. I love the way you analyze movies.
Yeah.
I really, really do. So here in a second, we're going to get to our top 10 horror movies for 2024. Yeah. But first, I have a few questions.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to apologize because they're not like crazy like the other ones have been. But they're... You even wore the shirt.
I wore the shirt.
I'd rather not. It's great because all of these are Would You Rather. They're not like crazy like the past ones have been, but there's some interesting ones in there.
We got expectations.
Yeah. So, would you rather eat would you rather eat a 6-ounce portion of someone else's scabs or use Da Balm as eye drops?
Oh, fuck, dude. Oh. I think using Da Balm as an eye drop would send me to the hospital.
Probably, but I mean, you could also contract hepatitis after you eat the scabs.
Also, I'm a cannibal at that point.
Yeah.
I think that legally makes you a cannibal. I'm pretty sure.
When you've weighed it out to a 6-ounce portion, I think so. I think you're right.
So, have you seen the movie Death on the Nile
No, I haven't.
with the chick that plays Wonder Woman? But either way, the dude in that movie was actually labeled as a cannibal because he was drinking some girl's blood, like in real life. It was a very toxic thing, by the way. This isn't something that they just did because they have a kink fetish. This was a very fucked up relationship that he had with somebody.
How much do you have to consume to be considered a cannibal?
I guess just any, because he was taking drops of her blood and drinking it.
So does that make me one?
Yeah, but you do it for art. There's a difference.
Okay.
There's a difference.
I'm an artiste.
He talked. There were weird text messages where this guy was clearly not in the right state of mind, talking about how he was going to eat her, and he knew.
Oh.
Yeah, like it was weird.
Yeah.
But if I eat 6 ounces of scab, can I cook it?
Why would you want to cook it?
So it could be like bacon.
It's like cooking a saltine cracker.
So it could be like bacon. I don't know. Fuck, dude. I guess for moral reasons and also legal reasons, I had to go with the Da Balm in the eyes.
Ow.
6 ounces, dude. You ever got like a 2-ounce side of cheese at a movie theater?
Yeah.
It's 3 of those. Fuck. Honestly, if that decision actually was presented to me and I had to live or die, I'd probably pick the scabs. So you know what? Fuck it. I guess I'll get the scabs. I don't want to deal with the bomb. Fuck.
Okay. So would you rather have a horizontal butt crack or a vertical mouth?
I was like, where the fuck is this going? Give me a horizontal mouth.
No, a vertical mouth.
Oh yeah, give me a vertical.
You already have a horizontal one. Is a vertical. So you'd basically be able to eat tacos without having to open your mouth.
I don't have to turn my face to kiss anymore.
Yeah.
Where's my nose go?
Oh, good question. It goes next to it. So look, just look.
The nose goes this way.
You just eat really.
Oh fuck, dude. You know what? I probably have to go with the I have such a nice ass.
Like, and if you had a horizontal butt crack, every time you'd walk upstairs, it would clap.
I'd have to sit on a toilet.
Yeah.
No one would know.
It looked like you were waiting on a bus.
Maybe no one would know.
They would just see your toes peeking in to the next stop over.
Oh, I'd be so fucking weird looking though. If you could just like, I don't know, if the nose could stay in the same place, the vertical mouth would be pretty cool.
Yeah, the tiny mouth.
I would always have to chew. Chewing food would be fucking pain in the ass.
Wait, is it only your lips that are vertical? Or like your teeth and everything?
I mean, with the way the face is structured, I think that, I don't know. Maybe. Am I just a monster?
I think you're just a monster.
I think I just for humane reasons, I gotta go with the horizontal ass. I kind of want the vertical mouth. Give me the vertical mouth.
Okay, vertical mouth.
Vertical mouth.
Would you rather...
That's how I'm eating those scabs. Putting those scabs in my vertical mouth.
I know. Would you rather only be able to pay with pennies or have your only form of transportation be a pogo stick?
Oh, I'll pay with pennies. That's fucking hilarious. I could pay with rolls.
Yeah.
I can get rolls of pennies
Yeah.
and just say keep the change.
And then you could get like the little rolls of pennies and then like roll them into bigger rolls.
Yeah.
Walk in with like a keg of pennies.
Yeah. And I can just tell everybody, literally, I don't fucking keep the extra.
Keep the extra. Like you're doing some service.
Yeah. I just don't want 40 cents on pennies in my pocket.
Would you rather cut off your nipples with a rusty butter knife or call party kids' parents every time you guys have sex and tell them how it was?
Oh, I'll call her parents, tell her how it was. That's a no. I'd do that now. I'd do that now. Dude, Christmas morning, I walked up in there. Your daughter was great last night.
But you will not believe this.
Not the arc. Her party kid's face is super red right now if she's listening to this. I don't think she is. I think she's behind. I think she stopped listening
That's
to our bullshittery.
When she catches up.
Oh, yeah. We got a gem here for her. I'm going to tell her 3 episodes from now that we've had a massive reference for her somewhere. And she's got to go through all the episodes now.
She's going to finally find this and be like, what the fuck? That's okay, because then she'll be able to make fun of you for whatever your answer is for the next one.
Okay.
Would you rather have a vagina on your forehead or a row of dicks on your back like a stegosaurus?
I can't bump anymore.
Nope. And just for hilarity's sake, they have balls too.
Oh, give me the pussy face. Give me the vagina on the forehead.
Vagina.
I'll just wear a headband all the time.
You'd be a bandana guy.
I'd be a bandana. I will be a bandana guy. Yeah, you're right.
And finally, the last one. Would you rather be irresistibly sexually attracted to bananas or always have a shit halfway poking out?
Oh, I'm pretty sure the former already exists. So you know what? I will join the community and the society. If I see a banana, I'm like,
I really want to fuck that banana.
my mouth is watering. It ain't because I'm hungry.
Oh, man.
You downplayed this.
I did. But are you ready to divulge our top 10 horror movies for 2024?
We can. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience at Russell Rave first? Because you rode down recently with one Copperchannel Johns.
Yeah.
How? Well, first of all, how was the trip?
Trip was easy. I listened to podcasts the whole time, caught up on a couple that I wanted to listen to. Yeah. The 6 Feet Under podcast, I've really been getting into that, so that's pretty fun. And then Joe Rogan had Mark Zuckerberg on his podcast.
Oh.
And that was a very interesting
The
one.
pool thickens.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, do you think they're gonna fight him and Elon?
Oh man, I hope so.
You think that's gonna happen?
I hope so.
That's all I care about is if they ever fight. I don't care a shit about either one of those human beings, but if they fight, I'll watch.
Oh man, I would too. It would be such a viewed event. It was a good trip there and back. Cap absolutely killed it as always. I participated in a King of the Mountain match.
Oh, how'd that go?
It went. I mean, I didn't win.
It went and it went far.
It went. So the objective of the match is you must pin one of the opponents in the match, which sends them to the penalty box for 2 minutes, and that makes it eligible for you to climb the ladder and hang the title.
Someone has to be in the penalty box.
You don't have to be in the penalty box.
But somebody. Oh, wait, you have to pin somebody before you're able to climb the ladder.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, this sounds like a ripoff of that NXT match.
It is.
But then there's the extra layers.
Yeah. You have to
To
pin
hang the title.
to hang the title.
I like that concept, actually.
Really?
It's a reverse concept.
It is a reverse concept.
Sounds like you think it was
I don't like it.
a little rough for wear.
I don't like it because, my thought process went, well, when you hand me the title to then climb the ladder and hang, what is stopping me from running out the front door?
I know. Possession is the law. You know what?
I got it already.
Well, you know what, Russell Rame, if you're listening, I think that's a great idea. Dude, you should put me in the next one. Look me, guys. You fucks. God damn it.
I think if you're gonna do that kind of match, maybe make it to where you got to pin somebody to climb the ladder and retrieve the title.
Yeah.
That way, I can't just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess then. Yeah. I don't know.
But there was a moment in the match that everybody thought killed me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you almost die?
I mean, everybody thought I did.
Oh.
So is nice and fun, But basically, I give Alex Arsenal a low blow.
Oh, what a dickhead.
Yeah, because fuck him.
Why is there an office?
And then, wow, oh my God. And they just heave this ladder full-fledged in my face.
You got your block taken off by what looks to be a middle linebacker and a keyboard warrior from hell. Oh, and then there's that. Oh, that's worse for wear. Oh, man.
So now I was sent to the penalty box off that. But yeah, the ladder being heaved at my face scared a many.
That guy looks like the guy in the khakis. This guy looks like he fucks to the Matrix. He just puts it on and fucks the shit out of not a human. Whoever this is. He looks like he just watches Neo and just bangs the shit out of a giant stuffed animal. Or a Roomba.
Or a Roomba.
Oh, come here. Traps him in the corner. Gotcha now, bitch.
Oh my God.
Oh. All right.
Are you ready, Tommy?
Yeah. For sure.
So who goes first, me or you? I feel like you're going to have a more in-depth list than me.
Yeah, and I always like to spend more time talking.
Yeah.
Are we going number 1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
I'm going 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Should we get some honorable mentions first?
Yeah.
Should we get some honorable mentions?
Yeah,
Yes, the movies that didn't make the cut.
Right.
You got a couple.
Yeah, I got
on your
two
list.
honorable
mentions.
mentions.
You got 2 honorable mentions on your list. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll let you talk about those.
Okay, so my 2 honorable mentions are Trap and Love Lies Bleeding. I completely forgot Love Lies Bleeding came out in 2024.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a 2023 thing, which I think is a good sign because I felt like 2024 flew by.
Okay.
But I forgot that it came out in 2024. I actually really liked this movie, and it probably would have ranked higher on my list had I remembered it. And as far as Trap goes, had a lot of fun in Trap.
Yeah.
Nice thriller. And again, probably would have scored higher had I remembered it.
Yeah. Oh, so you made this list and you don't want to change it. It's set in stone for you.
Yeah. And I made this list solely based off of the ones that I could remember, like straight off the top of my head. Like it's gonna be the most prominent one is my number 1.
Okay. I'm going to change my list because there's a movie I forgot about.
Okay.
So, but I'll give some shout outs right now. I'll give a special shout out to the one that was number 10 that is now getting booted off the list.
Okay.
That is Heretic.
Ooh.
Horace Grant. This I don't really know how to explain this movie. You should watch it. So later on, some point, either on a live stream or on this podcast, I want to talk about the top 10 horror performances of the year.
Okay.
And Horace Grant and Heretic is definitely going to be top 2 for me. No doubt. Like the first half of this movie is all suspense and dialogue. Then it gets to the second half of this movie is not as good as the first half. But there's the point in the middle of the movie, right before it does the big turn switch, that's just so goddamn captivating. It's insane. I could watch Horace Grant talk for 2 hours straight, and that's basically kind of what this movie is.
Okay.
This movie fucking ruled. This movie was awesome. But just straight up because of that. But like I said, the second half kind of falls off a little bit, and it just kind of becomes something, and then it leaves. It always. I don't like it when movies leave things in the air about what was true and what isn't, because there's the idea of this movie was is religion a real thing that you should believe in or not, basically. And I don't like it when it leaves the answer up in the air. I it's not that to say that made the movie bad. I just respect the decision. If you're gonna make, I want you to make a decision.
Right.
You spent an hour and a half trying to tell me one thing, and then at the end it's kind of flipped.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But yeah. Another one I'll give a quick shout out to is Arcadian. It was one of those Nicolas Cage movies that kind of flew by, that no one really realized. But like, I remember somebody said it best. I could totally see this being like like taking place in like the quiet place world, just on the different side of the world where the monsters are a little bit different. So like, instead of them not being able to see and have sensitive ears, it's more so these monsters fucking just they can't go in light.
Okay.
You know, they stay out of the sun completely. Makes them dangerous at nighttime. But yeah, that movie is definitely worth a watch. Nick Cage is awesome in it, and unlike the movie I watched tonight, the kid actors in that movie also did a great job.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's too many other ones. Strangers Chapter 1 wasn't as bad as I think most people are saying, but the original one was better, and it was a movie that does not need to be remade. But I'll still watch Chapter 2 and 3 as well. And Stream. You and I watched that one together.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie as well. Same people that make Terrifier as well. I actually really enjoyed that movie. That is one of those movies that it's an indie horror film from start to finish.
Yep.
It's like a love letter to indie horror films, and I love this so much. But that's basically it. There's movies on here that I'll talk about eventually at some point, but not because they're good.
Not because
they're good. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this one. I forgot, but I'll let you start with your number 10.
Okay, so my number 10, because I know you're not gonna have this on your list, is Night Swim. I'm completely joking. I actually have it typed in here. Night Swim jokingly.
We were about to like end this podcast right now. Fucking Night Swim, dude. Fuck that movie, dude.
You were so fun.
You almost killed me with
like your reaction after watching that movie made me laugh for a solid week.
Dude, fuck that movie. This movie fucking sucked, dude.
So my real number 10 is your last honorable mention, Stream.
Okay.
I really liked Stream. I thought it being a love letter to horror is just amazing. All the cameos in it were fantastic. Had a really good time. My number 9.
You want me to do my number 10?
Oh, okay. We're gonna go back and forth.
We can do a little bit of back and forth.
I'm down for that.
We can go a little bit back and forth, and then when we get to 5, we can flip.
Okay.
And I'll start going first. My number 10 is gonna be Long Legs.
Okay.
This movie, another movie with not just one but two very amazing standout performances, also by Nicolas Cage. This is Nick Cage to the max, being Nick fucking Cage, but he's also a Satanist.
Okay.
And I forget the main actress. I forget her name, but she was also awesome in this movie. The movie, it ranks really low on my list simply because it wasn't as like this movie's critics was its own demise. This movie was not this. It was billed as the scariest movie ever, or
I hate it.
I hate it when movies that, and I think that was the biggest downside of this movie. But the movie got towards the end, and I wish that this movie would have ended like I'd say about 70% through. There's a last act that I wish was just not there. And I wish they found a way to wrap it up. Give it 10 more minutes past the point where I'm not going to spoil, but there's the main scene with Nick Cage, his last scene in the movie. I wish they would just found a way to wrap it up there instead. Give it 10 more minutes to explain everything, whatever, or don't. I don't care. I just wasn't into the last act of this movie, basically.
Gotcha.
That's why it ranks lower on my list, though.
So my number 9
is
Blink Twice.
Is it?
Yes. The reason it didn't rank higher on my list was just because I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a horror movie, but more so horror adjacent.
Yeah.
And it deals with like some real life shit.
Yeah.
Like if you've got any sort of like sexual trauma, like that's a rough one to get through.
Yeah.
But it was a phenomenal movie. Channing Tatum was amazing in it. So was the lead actress. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but everyone in that movie did really, really well. And the twist at the end, with the rabbit, even though they were dropping hints throughout the movie, it didn't, like, it was still an oh my god moment when it happened.
I'm gonna chime in because my number 9 is also Blink Twice.
Okay.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, I asked you if you wanted to go to the movies with me all day. We ended up not going all day, but this was the first movie I went and watched, and it was only because like there was a lot of movies out, and I had nothing to do, and I was like, well, I wonder what this movie is about. And I remember, like, this is when I still worked at Synergy. I was walking past the theater, and there's the scene where Channing Tatum is just screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, over and over again. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I remember I watched the trailer, and I was like, this looks interesting as fuck. And then we went and watched it. And then halfway through this movie, I completely forgot that we're watching a horror thriller.
Yeah.
I was just watching these people have a good time with a little bit of unease.
Yeah.
There was always a little bit of unease in the background, but I did forget completely. Like, I was like, shit, this is supposed to be a horror movie, isn't it? I completely forgot. And then when the shit hit the fan, it fucking hit and sprayed everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that movie was very, very good. And probably one of the, I haven't seen all of his movies. I've never seen like the Magic Mike movies.
Yeah.
But this is probably like the best I've ever seen Channing Tatum.
Dude, phenomenal, right?
Yeah, like not in a comedic role.
Nope.
This is like the best.
Yeah.
It was
It
amazing.
was a very serious role, and I think he killed it.
Oh, absolutely.
What's
your number 8, bud?
My number 8 is actually Maxine.
Well, fuck me. Well, that's my number 8 too.
Okay, let's get into it then.
I love this movie.
I do too.
It's not my favorite of the trilogy though.
No.
My favorite of the trilogy is still X.
Yep.
Although I think what's her name?
Pearl.
Yeah, but what's the actress's name?
Oh,
Mia Goth.
Yes.
I think her performance in Pearl is probably the best.
Yeah, she killed it in Pearl, but X.
She kills it in all of them.
Yes. Yeah.
It just in Pearl, it was like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maxine was fucking phenomenal. Then.
Yes. I absolutely loved it.
Having Carlos Esposito in there wearing the blonde wig the whole time was hilarious to me,
Dude.
And Matthew McConaughey in this movie too.
He was in this movie.
Yeah, he was the detective.
Yeah.
Trying to get her the whole time. He looked like he was just having fun with this movie as well.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun with Maxine. I had a lot of fun with the entire trilogy. However, I still need to go back and watch it like in chronological order, I guess, like Pearl, then X, then Maxine. But
that would be pretty fun to do, actually.
Yeah, that would be I think I want to do that this week, actually. But want to do that, I think I'll have an even more like developed opinion of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just running off of memory anyway.
Yeah, that movie was great. You think that guy's gonna be a good Superman? Because that's the dude that's playing Superman they're projecting us.
I don't know. When I think of Superman, I think of Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the longest time, I thought Christopher Reeve.
Okay.
And like I just picture Superman with this like ultra like broad shouldered fucking V'd out waist, just kind of jacked, and this Superman seems kind of average.
I do think Henry Cavill will go down as the best Superman ever. Just not because of anything Zack Snyder did, or not because of anything he didn't do either. I just like you said, I picture Superman, I picture Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I don't really give two shits about Superman in general. And I watched the new trailer. I thought it was good.
You're more of a Marvel guy though, aren't you?
Oh, I'm such a Marvel guy.
Yeah,
I'll jerk off for Marvel. We'll save that for another time. What's your number 7?
My number 7, Smile 2.
Ooh, a movie. Spoiler alert. It's not on my list.
Really?
It's not on my list. I might have forgotten about it, honestly. But I don't think it would have made my top 10 anyways.
The only reason it made my top 10.
Not on my list. Well, yeah. Wow. Not on my list.
The only reason it made my top 10 was because there were a few jump scares in there that actually got me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I remember I think it was like when she walks into the dude's apartment and he kind of like turns on.
Okay.
and like
I'm sorry, my throat feels so awful right now. I don't know why.
that's okay. But yeah, it's when she's in his apartment for the first time and he like turns into the whole smile demon and fucking kills himself. Like,
Okay.
there's a jump scare in there that like it got me.
There are. So I think Smile 2, it's not on my list, but I still really like the movie.
Yeah.
So I liked all these movies a little bit better. There are two things that stand out in that movie, or three things I should say. Okay, I won't get to the spoilers until number 3. So my first two things, you're completely fine. But if you want to hear like how the movie ends, tune out whenever I get to number 3. Number 1, the opening, I think is the best opening of the year.
Yeah.
I think the opening to Smile 2 is my favorite opening scene to all horror movies completely for 2024. I think see, we're gonna do this a lot where I'm gonna forget the main actors' names.
Yeah. That's okay, me too.
The lead actress, I know she was in the Power Rangers remake 2017 movie.
Yep.
Also probably top 2, top 3 horror performances of the year.
For sure.
I think she was phenomenal. It's so hard. And the first movie did it as well. I think this movie did it better than the first one. I think the first one's a better movie, but I think this movie did the whole, like, we see from her perspective from start to finish. Other than the cold open, we see it from her perspective, start to finish.
Yep.
And that is a lot for one actor or actress to carry when you are constantly the focus on screen 24/7 throughout an entire movie.
Yeah.
That is difficult to pull off, and she fucking killed it.
So lauded it.
Yeah. So, my third thing about this movie, a little spoiler warning for the end. If you haven't seen Smile 2 and you don't want to hear, tune out for about 60 seconds. This movie set expectations for her to win, strictly because the main actor or actress in the first movie did not win.
Yeah.
The main character dies in the first movie. So that means like, okay, well, they're not going to do that again, are they? Why would they do that again? And then they start to find ways how to beat it without her killing somebody. And then, the movie could have ended 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Like when she gets locked in, they're going, all right, they're going to stop her heart. He leaves though. Oh, he's fucking gone. Okay, well, she's just going to lock herself in the fucking freezer and she's going to keep it in there with her forever. And okay, that's a cool way to win too. But then she injects the shit into herself.
Yeah.
Turns out none of that even fucking ever happened.
Yeah.
That fucking monster took over her like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, well, in the movie timeline, like days ago, the monster took over her and just let her imagine her killing her mother and everything like that. Like, she was never gonna win ever.
No.
And then, and it's like, oh, you're fucking doing this.
See, the reason this one didn't score a little higher for me was because they truth or dared themselves.
Okay.
Like, that drove me absolutely insane. At the end of Truth or Dare, they do the whole video and it gets out to the world. And then in this one, she's like on the concert stage and does it in front of everyone. Yeah. So like now they all have it. And it's just like, there's no way to escape it, period.
Welcome back, by the way. We definitely went past a minute. So you probably just had the movie spoiled for you, but maybe.
Probably.
You know what I'll say though? What I respect about this movie and not Truth or Dare? They're making another one.
Fair enough.
Truth or Dare did that, and they put it out in the world like, oh, how the fuck is this going to work now? And then they just pieced out. Yeah. That movie was also not as good as... I think when I first watched Truth or Dare, it was better when I first watched it, but the more I sit on it, the least I like it. Not a bad movie, but still. Smile did this, and they're going to make another one.
Hey, man, I'll watch it.
I'm going to watch it just to see if they can fucking dig themselves out of this rabbit hole that they're in. Yeah. But, kudos to them.
So what's your number 7?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Where's my list? There it is. My number 7 is going to be dramatic In a Violent Nature.
Oh, yeah, see, this one did score higher for me. So
okay,
we'll revisit.
So we won't. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. A movie that takes the point of view of the killer, not in the way that you would probably think when you first hear that. Like this is like almost like a video game where you are the killer and you're just watching behind his back the whole time. I will say, if I was to watch this movie again, I probably would be bored. This movie's not very rewatchable, simply for the fact that it is a lot of just walking around with the killer. But it is fun first time watching seeing that point of view, just like this is basically a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
Just it's not Jason, but this is basically a Jason movie from Jason's perspective. Basically, everything that you see in a Jason movie, like what the fuck is Jason doing the whole time during a Friday the 13th movie? This is probably it. So I definitely recommend to watch it. Had probably one of the best kills of the year. Probably not even a long time in this movie with the whole yoga scene. Yeah, I love that movie. But it was my number 7. No, fuck you. I'm gonna talk more.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm done.
I'm gonna talk more. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's my number 7.
Okay. Well, my number 6 is Speak No Evil.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know why this didn't score higher. I can't really give a justifiable reason as to why it didn't. It just came to my mind in that order.
Okay.
But really like this movie. I think that, damn it, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
McAvoy? James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Absolutely fucking killed it. Crushed it. You told me that he had an inspiration of Andrew Tate for his character.
Yeah.
And I do see it.
Yeah. That movie ruled. I won't chime in too much because spoiler. We'll be talking about it a little bit more later.
Okay.
My number 6 is the movie I forgot and had to add. It's Alien Romulus.
Another one we'll talk
I will
about
lie. I
later.
took a peek at your list and saw that and I was like, oh, fuck me.
Yep.
That movie rules. That movie ruled so much. It probably should be higher on my list, but I was too conflicted. And like it was already so hard. Like my number 1 through 4, like those movies were set in stone, but the order was not.
Yeah. So
it was so hard for me. And I didn't want to put it above my number 5 either because I think that movie's much more, it has a more enjoyable factor to it. But yeah, the Alien, I have no complaints about Alien Romulus.
No, absolutely phenomenal.
I have a guilty admission here. I've never watched an Alien film start to finish until this one.
Really?
I've never seen 1, 2, 3, or 4.
So Alien Romulus pops up on my list as well, like you said. So when we come back to it later, I'll kind of dive into why I loved Alien Romulus because I watched all the Alien movies leading up to it.
You know what I liked about it is it's the reason why I liked Evil Dead Rise so much. Well, not the reason why I liked that movie so much. There's a lot of reasons why I love that movie so much. But the thing Alien did that boosted it for me is like I was waiting for it to be how is it going to separate itself from other Alien movies besides just being a cool movie? Like, what are you going to do that the other movies haven't done? And then when it got to the end, when you think the movie's done, it's not done.
Yeah.
And the shit that they did. Well, I'm not going to say anything else about what it did. But holy fuck.
Absolutely crazy.
That ending was nuts.
Yes.
So, but that was I brought up Evil Dead Rise specifically for that reason. Cause like Evil Dead Rise from start to finish was phenomenal. It's probably like my favorite horror movie that I've seen probably in the last 10 years.
Okay.
But the thing, again, I was waiting for it to separate itself besides being in, a city apartment and not a cabin. Besides that, I was waiting for it to do its own thing. And it did at the end. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Number 5.
Number 5.
This is where we flip.
Yeah, this is where we flip.
This is where we flip, and I go first.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where it started to get a little tough for me. Because this number 5 also could have been, 4 or 3.
Okay.
It's Terrifier 3.
Okay.
It's solely carried on the back of the performances of David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown and Lauren Lavera as Sienna.
Yeah.
Solely off the backs of those. I think what dropped this movie a little bit for me from not being higher on the list is I've never, even in the second movie when he was just a mere kid actor, the dude that plays her brother.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about you. You look like you get swirlies and you like it. And just I'm sure he's a great kid. I mean, I say kid. He looks like a grown man now, borderline. But I just don't. You're not fucking believable. I don't believe you're in peril.
You're just not a big fan of him.
Yeah, I don't buy him a lot. But No, everything else in this movie was fucking awesome, dude.
Okay.
Santa Claus scene, the glass shard,
Yep.
nutty.
Yep.
Mm.
See, for me, it was the fire extinguisher with the rat.
Yeah. Okay.
That one got me.
Yeah.
But my number 5 is I Saw the TV Glow.
I did not watch that one. I wanted to. So okay, I'll let you go into your thing, and then
For me, it was just a major nostalgia hit.
okay.
Like that's like the whole time, major nostalgia. I felt like a kid watching a horror movie again.
Okay.
So that's why it hit number 5 for me.
We talked about this a little bit before we started recording. There are a lot of movies that would have been on this list if I watched.
Yeah.
I didn't watch I Saw the TV Glow. I didn't watch Mr. Crockett. I didn't watch Don't Worry Darling, Immaculate, and the one that everybody's been talking about, The Substance.
Yes.
All 5 horror movies I will watch this year. They probably would have been on this list, especially with all the praise I'm seeing for The Substance. Even by whenever I want to know if a movie's going to be good or not, before I watch, there are certain sources I don't trust specifically. Like I don't care what IGN says.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I disagree with them. But there are a very few short list of people. Even Dead Meat, like I don't have the same opinions as Dead Meat either.
Yeah.
Even though I love Dead Meat, I love listening to their podcast and watching their videos. I typically disagree with them a lot of the times. But Jeremy Johns,
Yep.
and the We Watched a Movie, like YouTube channel. I watch them and see what they have to say, so I know what my expectations are going into the movie.
Yeah.
Not to say I always agree with them 100% on everything, but they are the ones that set my expectations. So, I start going off on a tangent.
That's okay.
I went off track there a little bit, but with that being said, everybody has said The Substance is killer. So
Okay, so that's something I'll have to check out too.
yeah, it's another thing we need to watch.
For sure.
Was that your number 5?
Yep, that was my number 5.
All right, so my number 4, I already talked about it a little bit, is Speak No Evil.
Okay.
Yeah, all the same reasons that you said. This movie was awesome. I know it was the weird thing about this movie. So, it's a remake of a movie that came out 2 years prior. So I actually remember back in 2022. Well, I was manager at the movie theater. Talked about it before. Looking at the release calendar, seeing upcoming movies that are coming out, and Googling them, watching the trailers, whatever. And I remember seeing Speak No Evil pop up for 2022. And it was a Danish film. And I YouTube Speak No Evil, and I Googled it. And when you would Google it, 2 movies would pop up. And this one was the second that first movie came out, this one was already in the works.
Huh.
I don't know why. I don't know how. But
Yeah, that's strange.
But I remember watching the original trailer, but I had forgotten about it until I watched the trailer for this one. So I actually completely forgot about it. But so it was very weird. But the original does something crazy and fucked up at the end, and I'm sure that movie's a great movie. I'll probably never watch it. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm not too sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. Do you know what happens at the end of the original movie?
I don't.
Okay, I won't spoil it in case you want to watch it, or for the listeners. But this one does not do that.
Okay.
This one's I'll just say this: the first movie, not a very happy ending.
Okay.
This movie did. But yeah, James McAvoy is doing the most in this movie, and what makes this movie great isn't even the horror aspect. It's just the whole, it's so unnerving. And it's so unrealistic, but also very realistic at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it except for just go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go watch that movie.
So that was your number 4?
That was my number 4, Speak No Evil.
So my number 4 is something we've already touched on a little bit, and that's In a Violent Nature.
Okay.
And the reason it's my number 4 is because it was like a unique concept in the way that it's from the viewpoint of the killer. I've always been a big fan of slasher flicks. Jason was my number one for the longest time.
Same.
So
Still is.
yeah, I mean, like, I still really, really enjoy watching Friday the 13th movies just throughout. On Friday the 13th every year, anytime there is one, watching them on that day as well. So, In a Violent Nature for my number 4.
It's what I think this movie, what I hope that movie succeeded in the most is showing people we don't need crazy concepts.
No.
For a Friday the 13th movie. Just give us a fucking Jason movie.
Yep.
Give us a fucking guy in the woods killing teenagers or young adults, whatever. That's all a Jason movie needs to be.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be super over complicated. And I know the main reason why they haven't made one so well is just legal reasons and rights reasons. But, like, come on.
Have you seen the 2009 one?
Yeah, that movie's fucking awesome.
In my opinion, one of the best versions of Jason. Like, I'm always going to be a Kane Hodder guy. But that guy comes close out.
I love Kane Hodder, and I've met Kane Hodder, and it was awesome. The 2019 remake is my favorite version of Jason.
Yeah.
Purely.
Trap Jason.
Yeah. So, man, growing up, Chapter 4 was always my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, dude, I really don't have almost any complaints. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'll have to rewatch that 2009 one, but I need to rewatch it just to see. It might be my favorite. But I mean, just give us a fucking Jason movie, dude.
Yeah, it's all movie.
Jason movie. Give us a Freddy movie as well. Fucking get your shit together, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. That was your number 3.
That was my number 4.
That was your number 4. Okay, so my number 3 is a movie that was on your honorable mentions.
Okay.
And I know you said it's because you had already made your list.
Yep.
My number 3 is Trap. I fucking loved this movie.
It was so good.
This movie fucking ruled.
It was
dude.
so good.
Oh, it ruled. I think the first half is much better than the second half, but I still think the second half is still so. Just watching him escape these situations is so crazy. Like, even when they get out of the concert, just watching how he maneuvers, is still so insane to me.
Dude has his head on a fucking swivel.
There's a couple things I didn't like about it. They're not crazy. They're not, they weren't bad enough decisions that I have to talk about it, though.
Right.
That movie just was awesome. That movie was so good. When I watched it, it was probably I don't know. I was going to say it probably was my favorite movie of the year at the point when I watched it, but that's probably not true.
Well, like, the thing I remember most from is, like, having that feeling of anxiety watching the movie. Yeah. Like, trying to watch him maneuver out of those situations was, like, super fucking just anxiety.
Yeah, and there's a complaint about that movie about, like, all the pieces had to fall in perfectly in line for him to get away with all this, blah, 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 blah. And in my head, I'm like, I mean, a little bit, but for the most part, he's setting these things up.
Yeah.
Like, he is maneuvering, he is manipulating these things to go the way he needs them to go.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a 1 in a million shot every time he turned a corner.
No.
No,
yeah.
Like, he's working.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah. My number 3
is
actually Alien Romulus.
Okay.
Reason this is my number 3 is because I love a good Alien movie. And this one is supposed to sit between 1 and 2.
Right.
Perfect. Because at the end of 1, her ship blows up. Then we go into Romulus, and you see the particles of that ship, of the wreckage, just floating around in space. That, for me, you could actually, like, see the connection. That was dope. I also really like the fact that it kind of blended different elements of different Alien movies. In the earlier Alien films, they were very claustrophobic, very closed, tight spaces, and we get a lot of that in Romulus. However, we also get, like, I know everybody, like, dogs on this movie, but I really liked Alien Covenant.
Okay.
However, that feels like a very open world, and I think we get a little bit of that in Romulus as well when they show, like, the whole colony and like the outside of the ship and all that. Like, you get those more open world feelings as well as those super claustrophobic ones.
Yes. As the movie goes on, it gets tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
And I think that fits with how the movie should have been.
Yeah.
My number 2, I won't talk about it a lot for reasons.
Okay.
But my number 2 is Nosferatu, the last horror movie of the year that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I've said on it, the more I've thought, did I really like this movie that much? And the answer is yes, but also, I don't know, I could see myself in a year from now, this dropping, and that's why it's not my number 1. Because I could see in a year from now, like if you ask me which one of these movies do I want to watch on this list, Speak No Evil or Trap or Terrifier or even, like Blink Twice, I probably would rather sit down and watch over Nosferatu. Just because it's and that's not because of anything bad about the movie.
Right.
The movie is just anxiety filled fucking pressure that never stops.
Yes.
It's not overly scary.
Nope.
So that's probably why it's not number 1 for me. It's that's basically it. But the acting in this movie is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I wanted more Aaron Taylor Johnson in it because anytime he was on screen, he was killing it, and I was so invested in his little side story, and I wanted more of that. But I won't talk too much about it. But yeah, Nosferatu, my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is Terrifier 3.
Okay.
I really, really, really liked Terrifier 3. I had a good time watching Terrifier 3. I think that maybe I don't know. Maybe this says something about me. I thought it was hilarious watching people walk out of there and watch people ask me, like, I don't know how you guys can do that. Like, how can you sit there and watch that? Because it's a movie. That's why.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie.
The theater manager, theater we watched it at, the Synergy, was very upset with the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. And I found that to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Terrifier 3 was everything that a very young Wesley Crane would have thrown into a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like the most outright brutal shit.
Yeah, for sure. That movie was fun.
Yes.
It's just a fun time, dude. Watch it, Art the Clown. He's who was it? We watched a movie. Mike from that YouTube channel said it best. David Howard Thornton is the Jim Carrey of horror films now.
For sure.
And this is peak. And Art the Clown, it's so crazy because when you think of iconic horror movie characters, there's the big 3. You got Freddy, Michael, Jason.
Yep.
And then you got, the people that kind of stand next to them, like Ghostface, Leatherface.
Yeah.
And you got your Hannibal Lecters and Chucky and Leprechaun. It's been a long time since, probably it's been decades.
Yeah.
Since another character has shown up and put themselves in that kind of conversation, in that staple.
For sure.
And I think Art the Clown is the first person to do it. Definitely, probably in the 21st century, honestly. So, kudos to him and kudos to that whole squad for making this character so damn iconic.
Yeah. Absolutely fucking killed it.
My number 1, it's a movie that you have not even touched on.
Nope.
I'm a little upset. I'm a little offended. I've got to assume it's only because you haven't seen it. I've got to assume.
Okay.
Because not only is this my number 1, it's probably going to be like number 1 or 2 on my top 10 movies, period.
Okay.
And it's The First Omen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's so insane to me. And another guilty confession. I know everything. I know about it. I have not seen the original Omen.
Really?
I've not. I know what it's about. The Antichrist being born, and then the movies go on, and he grows up, whatever. And I know he was the son of a goat, or or whatever, not a goat, or not a goat, but a whatever the fuck the creature's name thing was. But holy fuck, that movie did the Nosferatu thing better than Nosferatu.
Really?
For me, at least, the anticipation,
Okay.
the suspense going on, and then there's a twist in the movie that I thought was fucking awesome and insane.
Then this is The First Omen?
The First Omen. It's a prequel to the original Omen movie.
I will have to check out The First Omen then.
Yeah, it's amazing. More killer performances, more twists and turns. Another great opening. It's a jackal. That's what it is. It's a jackal. So Damien is the son of a jackal. He's born of a jackal. And I'm like, are we going to see this fucking jackal? Are we going to see someone fuck this jackal? All right? You don't see the jackal fuck, but the jackal is in the movie.
Okay.
You know? And they show just enough. You know, they don't try to show you something super crazy, you know, whatever. They show just enough to be like, oh, fuck, the jackal's real. The jackal's real. I can't say enough good things about this fucking movie. There is one scene that's pretty disgusting.
Well, I'm gonna check this out. Like
this is it's the only movie I have not like. So little insider here. I rated every movie I watched last year, or at least I tried to. I realized today that Smile 2 was not on my 2024 movie list. But I tried to list every single movie I watched this year and then give them a rating. It is the only movie that I have not questioned my rating for. And this movie came out back in fucking like February or maybe April. It was early last year. And still to this day, this movie's a 9 out of 10 for me. And like, it's not even budged. Like, if anything, it'll go up. It's like a 9.5.
The fact that it's on your number one and it's a fucking 9.5 for you.
Yeah.
I definitely need to check out this movie.
I gave
sooner rather than later.
I gave 3 movies a 9 out of 10 this year. 2 of which were horror films. The other one was Deadpool and Wolverine. The other horror film was Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like Nosferatu is not very rewatchable for me.
Right.
At least not right now. And it's very long as well. This movie's not very long.
Right.
I still think it's probably about 2 hours, but fucking Nosferatu was 3.
Yeah.
Now that movie fucking rules, man.
Well, it's funny because my number one is Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like growing up, I was a band kid. I was in, I guess, what some kids would call orchestra, and I really, really enjoy that kind of music. This movie for me was like a movie version of that.
Okay.
It was super enjoyable for me. And even though it was like 3 hours long, it didn't feel like 3 hours when I watched it.
It didn't.
And I think that the acting throughout, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the action
Chef's kiss.
The acting throughout this movie is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Every single character in that movie was fucking killing it.
The fact that you can't tell that it's Bill Skarsgård is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
There is a close-up of his eyes, and you can kind of see his eyes, but like...
Yeah, what else you see?
His dick.
His dick? I don't think that's his real dick.
No. Probably not. But
oh man,
it's a phenomenal movie. I really, really enjoyed it.
I was so happy too. I was worried that this movie was going to get shit on because of Bill Skarsgård playing Nosferatu, specifically because he was coming off the heels of the remake of The Crow. Yeah, which is hot dog water.
Yes.
That we should do a top 10 most disappointing list.
We should.
Or bad / disappointing.
Oh, Night Swim and Crow automatically.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could feel that. This list took me. This list was hard. That list will not be hard.
Will not be hard at all.
But yeah, Nosferatu was awesome though.
Yeah, I had a good time with it.
Oh yeah, like I said, it wasn't super scary to me. And to be fair, like the first Omen doesn't really have a lot of jump scares either. But I was still just so damn uneasy and slightly terrified the whole time while I was watching it. Even though you know what's going to happen because it's a prequel.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like that, I guess that's the point of it for me is like, I know where this movie's going.
How are they getting there?
You know, like, yeah, like how are they getting there? But like, even though I know the outcome, I'm still invested in the fucking outcome. Yeah. You know? So it's like, how do you do that? That's why that movie ruled.
Carefully.
Very, very carefully. That movie fucking ruled, man. A lot of great shots in the movie, too. The movie shot very well.
Hell yeah. So just going over our list, I'll probably throw it on the members, the BS Brigade. I'll throw our lists on there so that there's a text version. I'm going to give my honorable mentions again. Trap and Love Lies Bleeding, both phenomenal. At number 10, you had Stream. And number 9, Blink Twice. Number 8, Maxine. Number 7, Smile 2. Number 6, Speak No Evil. Number 5, I Saw the TV Glow. Number 4, In a Violent Nature. Number 3, Alien Romulus. Number 2, Terrifier 3, and my number 1 is Nosferatu.
All right, yeah. And my honorable mentions were Stream and Heretic. My top 10 were going from 10 to 1 with Longlegs, Blink Twice, Maxine, In a Violent Nature, Alien Romulus, Terrifier 3, Speak No Evil, Trap, Nosferatu, and The First Omen. Our lists weren't actually that different.
No.
Our number ones were different.
Yeah.
And but like, you know, I only had, I want to say 3 movies on my list that you didn't have.
Yeah.
You know,
our lists weren't that different. They were just ordered differently.
There's a lot of movies we still need to watch.
Yep.
Like I said, Substance, Don't Worry, Darling. I've got to watch I Saw the TV Glow. Got to watch Mr. Crockett, because apparently that's another top tier horror performance of the year. So I definitely want to watch that before I give that list.
For sure.
But man, these are. Tell us what you guys think. All right, what was your top horror movie of the year? Do you think Nosferatu or The First Omen was better? I think most people will probably say Nosferatu, simply the fact because I just think there's not enough highs on The First Omen, and it's insulting.
Well, I'm gonna check out The First Omen just because you've hyped it up for me. I'm now excited for it, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. Probably sooner rather than later.
I think I have been the only person that has hyped it up as this much. Everyone else, you know, thinks it's good, but I think this is an all fucking timer for me, dude.
Fuck yeah.
This is an all fucking timer. It's gonna be on my top 10 movies of the year. Period. A few of these movies probably will be, but that'll be another fun one. That'd be a fun live stream to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, we need to do some live streams. We actually planned to record one today, but just shit got busy today.
Yeah, it did.
But that'll be something that we still do. We have anything else we need to talk about real quick?
Well, where are you gonna be coming up? Are you got anything coming up?
Well, you know, I was going to be at a couple places, but my stupid ass thought I could get into a basketball court and play like I was 19 again against another 19-year-old kid. And here's the thing. This didn't happen because of anything. I was playing very well. I posted this on Facebook earlier. Found out 2 things today. I'm still pretty good at basketball. And 2, I should not play basketball without basketball shoes at least. I jumped up and I scored a bucket, and then I landed. I didn't land on anyone's foot. I didn't land on my own feet. I didn't land on anything except for the solid ground. And my ankle decided it wanted to look at me from the bottom. So I've got a fat ankle right now. So I'm going to take about 4 weeks off because this motherfucker is definitely sprained, possibly fractured. It's just really massive right now. So my next booking will be February 8th. WFC. I don't think the matches have been announced yet, but I don't think it's too far. I think everyone can see it coming. Me and Riker are going to fucking settle our beef.
Hell yeah.
You know, even if it's not official yet, I'm calling him out right now. Even if it hasn't been booked yet. We'll see. Riker, you and I, we're going to finish this fucking deal between us.
Yeah, first you got to let your cankle
heal. Yeah. I suplexed him last time we wrestled. I've suplexed him the last few times we wrestled. So I've got reputation to live up to now.
Yeah.
And I need 2 ankles, not 1 cankle.
Yes. 2 ankles, not 1 cankle.
Yeah. All right, Wesley Crane, where can the people find you?
Well, January 25th, I'll be at Loco Pro Wrestling, No Ring, No Masters 3 at the White Swan in Houston, Texas. February 2nd, I'll be at Baracho Pro for Blood, Sweat, and Beers 2 at Pinballs in Austin, Texas. And as always, subscribe and follow me on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at I Am Wesley Crane. Visit www.iamwesleycrane.com and grab yourself some of the best merch in the game right now. The Classic Collection includes every apparel design I've ever released over the course of my career, and while the Winter Collection may be gone, that doesn't mean that everything went away. You can still snag some select items from that drop, including the I Am Satan tee, the Hellstomp hoodie, and the Violent Beanie. If none of that tickles your fancy spot, though, check out the Parabellum Cinnamon Roll tee and or hoodie. Get glazed! And of course, don't forget to follow BS with Tommy and Wes on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcast effects. If you want more content, sign up for the BS Brigade and enjoy exclusive weekly uncensored bullshittery. Links for everything I just mentioned are in the description for this episode.
There's one way I could do what you do.
What about you?
No way I can do that all the time.
We gotta
Find a break in there.
at some point. Because damn, I feel we should take it home right there. Fuck. Follow me on TikTok at Tommy Dean Pro, Instagram Tommy Dean Pro, X at the Tommy Dean 32. You can get some Tommy Dean merch, individual merch at the Tommy Dean shop.bigcartel.com. Soon to be switching to somewhere else. You know, I'll keep that to myself for now. And, you know, maybe I'll write a long paragraph too that I can say as well, so I can feel fucking special. God damn it. That's where you can find me. Hey Wesley, Taco Bell no longer has chicken nuggets.
What?
This is some bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.